Silverware, it's... Man, why can't I remember? Because I need to use more melee weaponry. Because the no medicine, no components, no money situation. When I get raided, it's usually just one tribal. I've been killing them before I can capture them. Normally, if you're trying to capture somebody and you're trying to, like, take them down without, like, killing them, your best bet is, okay, like Cody here, for instance, he's got a 7 in melee. So if I'm going, like, 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 on a fight in the event of, like, a caravan, right, I look at the other character, like my raided character, and I'm like, what is your melee? What is your shooting? What weapon have you got? And then I look at the people that I've got and I try to assess, like, which one of my 2 people are probably going to do the least amount of damage against this person, and I'll pit that person up against it. Like, for instance, Ali here does less melee damage. If they were to do a punch up together, Ali should technically go down, right? But Cody would probably, or at least should, take a reasonable amount of damage to where the next person that hits them should down them. They may kill them, but they should down them, right? That's how I kind of look at it. So you don't send your stronger person for it. Like, obviously, there's a risk that, like, your weaker person could die, but it just depends on what kind of armor and shit they've got too. Like, you have to weigh up that crap too. Like, Grim's just chilling out here, right? He's got a steel helmet. His head can take a hit, but the rest of him sure as shit could not. If he was pit up against... who's in the area? I was going to say Kit Kat, but that's not armor. I don't have many people that have armor on them, but, like, there would be somebody in here that has, like, a simple vest of some kind, and that person would be able to take more of a hit for longer, while only doing a weak amount of damage. So if you've got one person that's got armor, like this person's got like flak stuff on them, I think. Yeah, flak jacket. They might be able to take a few hits before going down. That's the logic that I kind of work with. If I'm trying to take somebody in a caravan and I don't have a psychic shock lance, I do try to pit it up like that to take them. Hey Snipe, how the fuck are you? What are you up to? I feel like it's been a while. It's been a hot minute. But yeah, that'd be like probably my best advice for like taking on a battle where you maybe take somebody. The only thing is there is a risk that your person could go down and get stolen and or die. So it just depends on how much that person's really worth it. Of course, you can also have the effect where the weaker person is standing in front and the stronger person stands behind and smacks them over the head kind of thing. That can also sometimes work, but it can also sometimes kill them. So, just depends. I was looking for not silverware. I was looking for the other fucking one, and I can't remember her name off the top of my head. There's silverware, and then there's... my colonist name. She's an original too. I'm looking for an original. Not Shizuka. It does start with an S. Where are you? I'm gonna have to go look in my fucking list to find her, aren't I? I think she's in base. I don't have anybody outside at the moment. Yeah, alright, let's go to the list and find where she is. Let's go find it. Names, alphabetical. The S section. What is your name? Oh, Seahorse. Jesus Christ, it's not that similar. Alright, yeah, you're awake. I was going to make you do the building of the other one. Because Lincoln's currently building that. Although he's kind of building both. But let's get you down here. Who else has got an infection? Bye, Cal. It's minor at the moment and she's getting good treatment. As long as I could get like Toad or somebody. Toad is cleaning. I was going to say if Toad could clean, we could bring up the state of the hospital. It might be better. There we go. Yeah, a couple of centuries passed by. Jim McKay been playing this game, Hell Slave. Pretty fun so far. I don't think I've heard of it. Sounds interesting. Well, yeah, the timing for Snipe is kind of funny. Like, straight back into it. Like, it's not just a matter of, like, straight back into chat. It's straight back into that ad. It's only here you can experience that snipe. Truly. The worst part is it's not like it's even redeemed, it's just the timing. And because like I go live at like such like inconsistent similar times, like I don't just automatically go live at like 9:35, right? Sometimes it takes me a bit longer to set up, or like last night where I had to make a thumbnail for YouTube and shit because I realized that YouTube wants you to have a thumbnail when you go live on it and shit, right? So yeah, like little things like that delayed me and stuff. And tonight I was trying to get some information out into Discord and stuff ASAP before I started stream, so I didn't start on time. I started at like 10. But yeah, because of stuff like that, you can never like truly be sure that you're not going to get slapped with ads at the consistent same time. Yeah. It only happens here. I get kicked in the balls with ads. Pretty much. The thing is, it's only you, though. And I have noticed it. I really have noticed it's only you that gets hit with it. This is why I was like saying, I'm like, nobody even redeemed it. Like, I could understand if somebody specifically redeemed, like run an additional ad as you joined, and I could see that being like a bit of a lull. But no, it's just consistent timing for you that you join chat, start talking, and then bam, ad every single fucking time. Yeah, have some of my drink, hold on. Only me that gets ad mid-sentence of conversation. Pretty much, at least that I'm aware of here. You seem to be the only person. And I really feel like it's just like Twitch has it out for you. It's like, oh yeah, it's this guy again. It's like slaps you with an ad. I feel like that's what happens. No, Azul's being cute. She's been upside down. Alright, she has been patted. But yeah, no, if Lincoln finishes building this, and if... Oh yeah, he did. I want to make chemfuel. I sort of want to do it forever, but I don't know... I kind of want to limit it to... Like, hold on. It's 70 for one set. Okay, so what have I got? I got 26,000. I don't really want to use the less 600. So let's say we've got 20 grand of wood. There goes the chicken. Divide by 70. It can't be 28. Maybe it is. Okay, well, I'll set it up to make chemfuel 28 times. I don't think I want it to be until we have an amount of 25, but it could be good for if we go under that. So I think I said 28, but let's put it on 25. I like this look everywhere. Okay. Oh. Okay, I need to have more than that. Hold on a second. Okay, so it's gonna output 35 times by... Azul, get off my mouse. Okay, by 25. Okay, so I need to add 875 to it, to that. So what is that? It disappears for me. Hold on. I click off my screen and it disappears. Hold on. So I need it to cap at 2,802. 2802. Here we go. Alright, go ham on making that. And these, I do need to check what they're making. I do want them to kind of keep making eyeballs. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go around and do some stuff with this. But anyway, HugsLib is similar to Diablo 2, but 2D turn-based. Oh yeah. I mean, it sounds interesting, but it also doesn't really sound like my kind of thing either at the same time. But it sounds like an interesting game. I'll have to have a look at it later. Days. Crow is in a daze. I keep going to say my days is in a crow, but let's not. Alright, I'm making components. Advanced components are mostly suspended, not all of them. I'm pretty sure I got rid of all the extra things. What I wouldn't mind doing is I wouldn't mind still making a few eyeballs because some people need it. And I have a fuck ton of gold, which I am going to transport pod to the new location once we pick it. Because that's the only safe way I can do it without a caravan getting absolutely royally screwed over. So, yeah. But anyway, once I made the other one, I'll match the amount for this and stuff. I've made it to transport pods. How far from your colony can they take you? Okay, so if I was to... like, I won't send one, or hold on, let me save it because I've been kind of like doing quick little fumbles tonight and there's a good chance I might accidentally. Let me hit save so I don't send it. But it doesn't matter where you put it in your base, by the way. It just matters for like packing stuff, like one kibble will do for the moment. And then let's say we're going to launch it while it's not got stuff in it. Let's see. So it gives you a radius, as you can see, to where you can potentially send it. And it's pretty far, but it also depends on how much fuel. This is the maximum radius that 150 fuel capacity can send to. If you want to send it to somewhere closer, like if I was to send it to like this group across the way, it wouldn't cost me 150 chem fuel. It would use a percentage of what's in the transport pod. Then you'd have to top it up again if you wanted to send it again or further and stuff, depending on the distance and stuff. Like you could probably get 2 trips out of that because that doesn't even look like that's half. Looks like less than half. But yeah, if I was to send it, I want to send it preferably within this kind of zone here, because if I'm sending it back here, it's not really going backwards, but it feels like it's going backwards level to the world horizon. But like, honestly, when I move, this is here, my only spot that I can make it through in that particular part, unless I go all the way around it and stuff. The ship is all the way up here. So we're headed up there. Let me just cancel that. It also shows you, mind you, I just hit cancel, but it only shows you on the edge of it if it's going to be exceeding that amount, or it will ping up here that it says that it's like not enough fuel, for instance. But yeah, we want to go up to this. It's in the desert, and I think it's on, hold on. It's on just a desert tile, movement difficulty of 1, so it's a basic tile. There's no mountains or anything like that, but it is going to be cold. It's going to be real cold. But it's the first one I've had that isn't on like an ice sheet or like on a different section. So it's the first one I've had like a real chance to get there and stuff. But yeah, we're all the way down here. So I would have to send a caravan through this little bit and then around and stuff. But we moved, hold on. We started down here. We started there and we were there for like a year. Then we moved up to here. So as you can see, that's like a pretty big distance from this spot to that spot and stuff. That was a mistake. That was too far. But I fully deconstructed my first base and then moved to that. And then 1.5 updated and it completely broke my tile at this location. It brought in a whole bunch of glitches and we just had to emergency evacuate out of there. And we basically like left behind so many resources. The caravans were also glitching in a way where they were emptying themselves as they were getting loaded with food. So my caravans set out without food. So all my people were basically starving on their way to here, and we moved up here. So it was not as far, but because of this little bumpy terrain thing here, this is about 5 days to a week of extra transit that it doesn't count for. So yeah, that slowed us down a fair bit. But yeah, I want us to get up and around. Like, it doesn't take them too long to get through this bit, and then they kind of like fly around there again and stuff. But we'd kind of like planned to move into here, and we were like set and ready to go. But I found out literally the day before I was going to play RimWorld that we can move us, that the game was going to update in a month. And when the game updates, it's got a good chance that it's going to break this tile in some way or slow it down terribly. And it would be better for me to be moving to a clean new tile a 1.6 tile instead of 1.5, because if I take another year to move from that tile, it will absolutely break. And I'll have to like emergency move again, and I don't want that. But also with like the one mod that I have that does something, like the deep stacks, they kind of broke last time we moved, and we lost so much colony wealth in that like one day and stuff. So yeah, that definitely didn't help us in amongst everything. And then yeah, I tested it again. You'll see the image if like you guys are in Discord. I've got it in there. I was probably going to put it on like Blue Sky or Twitter probably later, so you guys can actually kind of see if you're not in Discord and shit. But yeah, it's gonna probably do it again. And I'm concerned about that because I've got like 5,000 pemmicans stockpiled. I've got like a fuck ton of wood. I'm trying to make chemfuel to power like the transport pods. I've got like 4,000 steel. I'm deconstructing stuff to get extra steel to move. And I've got like, you know, 3,000 odd package survival meals and stuff, which is adequate for a colony of this size to move with and to be stable with, especially if I took a lot of my hauling animals out of this map temporarily and I put it somewhere else. We would have enough food to back up that in this colony if I needed to. But if it breaks in that way, I lose all those resources and it makes it incredibly difficult again. And this was really fucking hard to keep these guys alive when we had like 100 less of them. But now we have 100 more of them, so that's almost colony ending, wipe it kind of stuff, which I don't want to happen, because if they die off, I have to start again. It's not that I won't, but I am deeply attached to all my colonists by now, and I would need some time between this game and the next game, you know. So yeah, I don't want that to happen. But to be honest, it didn't sound like my thing either. I only got it because it was 100% off. I think it still is, but yeah, I need to try it. Decently fun, relaxing, or being stress generator lol. What? I tried it. It's decently fun and relaxing while being a stress generator. How is it decently fun and relaxing while being a stress generator? Those things don't correlate. I love it though. It's great. I don't know. Like I said, I'll have a look at it later. I'll Google it later and see what it is and stuff. But yeah, usually for me, if somebody says the game's like Diablo in some capacity, I usually don't find it interesting or enjoyable personally, because I'm under the general belief that if I wanted to be playing Diablo, I'd be playing Diablo, you know. So if something's similar to Diablo, it's not Diablo, you know. That's my logic anyway. How I kind of like view a lot of games. If I wanted a game to be like another game, I'd be playing the other game. Get you up to what is it? Was 2802, I think. Hold on. Yeah, cool. All right, so I got 2 chemfuel reactors. Biofuel things or whatever. So there's a pretty good chance that they may like duplicate or overload one of these things with too much fuel and use up too much fuel. But hopefully they don't. That's my hope anyway. And I'm pretty certain that my thrombos aren't drinking the chemfuel. I'm not 100%, but I'm mostly certain that they're not drinking it. I don't exactly check frequently. I don't go and breathalyze my thrombos nearly enough, you know. And when I had a colony that had like a lot of little cats and I was making beer and stuff, my cats were constantly smashed and stuff, and my animals were getting into like all the supplies and stuff. So, you know, basically like screwing over the economy in my town. It was great. Game started in Tundra. We spent first year scraping to survive. I tried a Tundra start once, but I didn't survive very long. It was like one of my super, super early games. So I haven't played a lot of colonies, but I played the colonies that I have for a long time. So I've had like a couple of like straight up colonies that I couldn't tell you what the name of, and then I had the coalition colony, which had like 100 or so people, and I had that for quite a while. And then I had a couple of other colonies after that that didn't survive, and then I had the Asora colony, and that had like 170 odd colonists. I had that for like probably a couple of years easily, because I was just playing it casually. This was all before I was streaming and shit. And I stopped playing that one to start a colony on stream. That was when I started streaming. So there goes one of my caravans. It should just sit outside here because I want to compile them all together. Where's my caravan one? There. So yeah, I started a colony called Nido, and it didn't do too well. I got up to like 100 or so people, and I just had a bad day. Like I was going through a lot of medical stuff and dealing with a lot of stuff, and they were constantly infighting the whole time from day one, and they just hit like the wrong day, and I was like, put my hands up and I'm like, go for it, you know, and I let them like kill the entire colony. That was pretty interesting. It took about an hour. I have that on YouTube. But yeah, no, I basically went from that one to this one, which is surprising because usually I have a kind of like a dud colony in between that doesn't make it, or one or two dud colonies. And Nido obviously was a dud colony between Asora and this one, but it survived a lot longer than it really should have, realistically. But yeah, that's generally speaking what happens with my RimWorld and stuff. So even though like I haven't got a lot of experience with like too many games, I have played them for years, mostly each. So that's kind of how it works, which is a bit unfortunate because if I had a bit more start-stop colony experience, I would have a bit more kind of different situation experiences and stuff. And that reminds me, I've got to move my little thingies, these doohickey thingies. I don't love that that's where it is, but basically it's turn-based, so you can take it slowly, but the enemies aren't playing fair. So every time my health hits 40, my heart gets mini stroke. I have to restart last save, which I did 2 hours ago. Oh my god. Every time you go into the village, you're auto-saving, I think. God damn. Well, I literally had a case of like, forgot to save back in, not yesterday, but a couple of months ago with Pokemon yesterday. I went to play that and I realized that I hadn't properly saved the last time I played it. So we lost like 3 to 4 hours of like on-stream gameplay. That was something. Because the funniest part about it is like I had been going on about how much I love how the older games force you to save, right? It's actually something that I appreciate on the older games because like, I don't know, taught you to kind of like pay attention. But yeah, I didn't do it a couple of months ago. To be fair, like it's no real excuse, but like a couple of months ago I had the stream end early because I was getting absolutely inundated with ants, and it killed my keyboard, so I couldn't actually keep playing because obviously Pokemon is a lot of keyboard, is no mouse. But yeah, I just didn't save properly, which ironically I wouldn't have needed a keyboard for, which is like the hardest part about that. Now, how are they going with this in here? I think this one can still reach a bit. That one is still reaching. I want to move a couple of these. I uprooted a couple to take in the caravans. That one can reach. What about this one? That one can reach. Where are my other ones? I had a lot. There's one. That looks like it's bringing up stone. Okay, so the other thing too is it's not just about up there. I will move those around. They'll be fine. There was another chunk. There. That's where I've got to go. I also look like nobody's drilling that. And I think I made power to that, but I'll have to check. I'll put that in there, see how we go. Auto-saving feature in older games came about as a solution to software bottleneck where running data kept building and caused the overheating console's PC parts as well as data leaks. Compressing the data through autosave made the issue go away. I like that. That's a great reason for it. So welcome in, Ricky. How the fuck are you? So nowadays, if you see it, it's just a throwback to nostalgia. What do we got? Rolf, Cockroach. What are you doing, Cockroach? Inspired taming. And uranium, apparently. Is this where... Oh, fuck. It's under there. Okay, I don't really need uranium, but I could probably reach that from inside. I'm gonna hit the road. I'll go coffee shop, trying to make the best of being unemployed. Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully you have a good rest of your day, and the coffee is nice and stuff. I did look up what salt pork was, because that was really interesting yesterday, and it looks good. I understand why, you know, with the scones and stuff, by the way. I don't think we have that here, so it was cool to kind of learn about. I might just make more of these, honestly, because I uprooted like a bunch of them, but we sort of do need the extra here. So, yeah, I might just do that. But yeah, by all means, if you gotta head off and go do stuff, go do it. I'll be here. I'm guessing I'm not going to get that uranium because I'm not lifting up one solar panel just to have that, you know. That's not good. Having some coffee, enjoying some stream outside on the balcony with some sunlight. That sounds fucking good. What is it with you lot and your coffee? Like, I don't know. I haven't had like a really nice coffee recently. I've been making some like uniquely shit coffee. Like, it's phenomenal for me. Levels of bad. But yeah, no, I've got like a glass of cold Coke and it's like frigid cold weather, so not super awesome. But it will do. It'll do for the moment. I do have power going to that. But yeah, some sunlight would be nice. I was actually thinking about that earlier today. Because obviously I'm awake at night and I sleep during the day and stuff, and I'm like, it would be really nice to like experience some sunlight again. I don't think that those two will reach, but I'm going to try. All right. I should be able to move the rest of them around. Like I said, I uprooted like half a dozen and they're in my caravans to go to the new location, which reminds me, I also have to set up some extra people to go outside too. So we'll see. Be playing Morrowind, Xbox, and wondering about the unusually long loading screen. See, I just never would have thought about it. Like, that kind of stuff, like, I don't think it would have crossed my brain. The losers caravans got... They don't have any bedrolls and stuff. So I'm trying to get all my caravans to just stick outside of here, and I'll group them up and they'll travel together because, like I said, as of Monday last week, we had a location we were moving to. 100% it was going to be in here, and we were ready to go ASAP that day. And then by the end of stream on Monday, I found out that there's an update coming, and it's in a month, and we really should move to a fresh 1.6 tile. So now I have to find a new location, but it's still going to be like up here somewhere. It's just like up here somewhere. So I have caravans actively pushing out, but no location to go through yet. I want to make one more caravan that has like all of my builders, or most of my builders. So it's going to take like an extra couple of minutes. I should just have a quick look actually before trying to do this. I'll go in and I'll have a look at who my builders are. I don't usually pull the actual row up to like see it properly, but I need to know who my good ones are. Oh, come back. Fill that one personally. Yeah, Sweden says sunlight and caffeine is pretty much essential. Oh. Yeah, no, it's just because I'm awake at night. Like, I sometimes see sunlight on the weekend, Usually because I am awake during the day on the weekends and I try to sleep at night on the weekends and stuff. But like I still don't physically actually go outside. So I don't actually get like external light on me and stuff. And when my house was built, it was in the time period where there was a lot of like eco sort of enhancements to the houses and stuff. So we have like forced tinted glass, which means that the sunlight coming in isn't as like warm or as bright as it is outside, which kind of sucks because Australian homes also are not insulated, and inside is usually a lot colder than it is outside, and in summer it's a lot hotter and stuff. So in winter it's really fucking cold, and it doesn't warm up. But I also can't get like good vitamins and shit from like sitting in a sunbeam inside my house and crap because it's all tinted and shit. I also can't technically get sunburnt laying in a sunbeam in my house. So I guess that's another thing. Like having sunglasses on my house. Alright.